Hello, and welcome to the fifth episode of Heritage Storytime. This episode is called Cooking Culturally. Let's cook for Ramadan. My name is Melissa, and I'm from Global Philadelphia Association. Heritage Storytime is a series of monthly episodes that we present where we read books together and we learn all about Philadelphia heritage and our global connections. And today, we're really in for a treat. We're going to be making tabbouleh together with our friends from Al Bustan Seeds of Culture. Did you know that food can be a part of your cultural heritage? Cultural heritage is the food, the traditions, the language, the history that you share with your community. You can learn a lot about another group's cultural heritage by tasting their food and learning about why that food is important to them. And you can share your own cultural heritage by sharing your food traditions with other people. So, sharing food and learning about food from different parts of the world and from different cultural groups is a really fun way to learn about other people and to share our own cultural heritage with other people. Um, do you have a special food or meal that you like to eat together with your family or with your community? How about a food or a meal that you make for a specific holiday? We're going to be hearing about how tabbouleh is an important food that is served and eaten during the holiday of Ramadan. So while we're listening to this episode, while we're watching, I want you to think about a special food or a special meal that you like to eat for a specific holiday with your family and with your community. For now, I'm going to turn it over to my friend Sarah. Sarah, take it away.
I'm Sarah, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about this book. It's called Let's Cook for Ramadan. The publisher is Morning Circle Media, a local publisher, lucky for us. The book has both English and Arabic phrases in it. Suad Mansour and Cynthia Kralik wrote this book, and Mohammed Ahmed contributed really incredible illustrations to it. You're really going to like those pictures. The book is all about the food that people often like to cook during the month of Ramadan, when many Muslims fast during the day. So Basma Taber from Al Bustan Seeds of Culture is going to read the book to all of us using both English and Arabic words and phrases. She's also going to help us learn much more about Ramadan. And believe it or not, she's going to take us on a journey through part of her neighborhood to buy all of the ingredients she needs to make tabbouleh, one of the book's recipes. As Melissa said, you might start thinking about a recipe or a dish that you and your family like to prepare sometimes, maybe for holidays. Basma is ready for us now in her kitchen. Let's go.
Hi and marhaba, my name is Basma. I'm a friend of Al Bustan Seeds of Culture, an Arab culture and arts organization right here in Philadelphia. Food is not only delicious, it's also a very important part of cultural heritage. People of different cultures will gather with their family and friends over a holiday meal. While Christians might gather over a meal for Easter, many Muslims in Philadelphia and beyond will gather for meals over Ramadan. Ramadan is a very important month in which Muslims tend to fast. Fasting means that during daylight hours, Muslims will not eat or drink anything. Early in the morning, all the family will wake up and eat together. This first meal during a fast is called suhoor. At the end of the day, after having not eaten or drank throughout the day, the family will gather together and share another meal called IFTAR. After a long day of reflecting on the meaning of Ramadan, you can imagine how tasty the iftar meal is. Lots of meals are traditionally eaten during the month of Ramadan. In the book, Let's Cook for Ramadan by Suad Mansour and Cynthia Kralik, they talk about different meals that are being prepared by Sudanese and Middle Eastern teens in Philadelphia. This book is for all people everywhere who gather together to share good food in celebration of their faith. إلى جميع المسلمين في مشارق الأرض ومغاربها الذين يشاركون الطعام الجيد في احتفالاتهم الدينية والاجتماعية. Introduction. This book is about the delicious foods typically served during the month of Ramadan. Kids made all the dishes that you see here. You can too. The ingredients are available in the market or in your garden. What is Ramadan? Ramadan is the month of the year when Islamic people abstain from eating, drinking, smoking, and excessive behavior during the daylight hours. The purpose of this fasting is to give Muslims a chance to focus intensely on developing their spirituality, humility, and patience. It is a time to purify the soul for God. المقدمة. هذا الكتاب عن الأطعمة اللذيذة التي تقدم خلال شهر رمضان. ما تراه هنا من الأطباق صنع بواسطة الأطفال، وأنت أيضاً يمكن أن تصنعه. ويمكن الحصول على المواد من السوق أو من الحديقة الخاصة. ما هو شهر رمضان؟ شهر رمضان هو واحد من شهور السنة القمرية. يمتنع المسلمون من الأكل والشرب والإمساك عن السلوكيات المفترطة. خلال ساعات النهار، والغرض من هذا الصوم هو إعطاء الصائم فرصة للتركيز بشكل مكثف على تطهير الروح والتواضع والصبر. Breaking the fast. The Prophet Muhammad recommends to the followers of Islam that the Ramadan fast be broken with dates. Why dates? Dates are easy to digest. They decrease the strong hunger associated with fasting. Dates prepare the stomach to receive the food. Dates are rich in natural sugar and energy, and they help prevent constipation. الإفطار. أول الأشياء التمر أو البلح، إذ أنه ضروري لإفطار الصائم ولا تخلو عنه كل الموائد. وصى محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم بتناول التمر أو البلح عند الإفطار. لماذا البلح بالأول؟ البلح سهل للهضم. البلح يقلل الإحساس بالجوع المرتبط بالصيام. البلح يهيئ المعدة لاستقبال الطعام. البلح غني بالسكر الطبيعي والطاقة. البلح يساعد في منع الإمساك. In this book, you can see the recipes that the kids made all by themselves. One of the recipes is for tabbouleh. Tabbouleh is actually my dad's favorite food. Tabbouleh has many ingredients in it, and they are parsley, بقدونس, cucumber, خيار, tomato, طماطم, lettuce, خس, bulgur wheat, برغل, salt, ملح, mint, na'na, lime, ليمون, oil, زيت. I just mentioned a bunch of words that you might be unfamiliar with, so here's a quick explanation of what they mean. Culture, ثقافة. Culture is about the food, language, experiences, arts that people share together who are a member of a community. Ramadan. Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, the lunar calendar, during which many Muslims will fast and make sure that they use this time to reflect on their faith. Fasting, siyam. Fasting is the act of not eating or drinking in order to focus on something that is more important. Fasting is a part of many religions, including Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. Sahur. Sahur is the meal that Muslims eat at sunrise during the month of Ramadan. Iftar. Iftar is the meal that Muslims eat after the sun sets during the month of Ramadan. Tabbouleh. Tabbouleh is a salad made out of finely chopped parsley, bulgur, onions, and many other ingredients. The ingredients can vary depending on the family, household, or region of origin. In my family, we don't fast during Ramadan because we're not Muslim. In fact, most of Muslims in Philadelphia are not Arab, and many Arabs are not Muslim. Nonetheless, I grew up with many friends who they and their families fasted during this month of Ramadan, and it was one of my favorite things to join them for the meal of iftar and have a delicious meal together at the end of the day. All this talk of food is making me hungry. Would you like to make some tabbouleh with me? Come on, let's go get some groceries together. Come on, you guys, let's go. Hi Malik, how are you doing today?
How are you?
I'm doing well. I was looking for some parsley and some mint today.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, what about some lettuce?
Lettuce, I do have. Iceberg lettuce and romaine lettuce.
Wow, that's great. Do you have some mint?
And I do fresh mint for you today.
Thank you. Here are the ingredients that we need to make tabbouleh. So we have lettuce, khas, mint, nana, cucumber, khiyar, tomatoes, tomatum, lemon, laymoon, onions, basal, salt, ملح, olive oil, زيت زيتون, and parsley, بقدونس. Parsley, or بقدونس, is a herb that's typically grown in Middle East or Southwest Asia and North Africa and used in many of the dishes that come from these places. Bulgur, برغل. Bulgur wheat, or burghul, is a dried cracked wheat that you can buy partially cooked at the grocery store. This makes it an easy and nutritious addition to many meals such as tabbouleh. The only thing that you need to prepare ahead of time is your bulgur. You need to soak it in water so that it softens. After you do so, it'll look like this. Tabbouleh is made differently in different countries. In Let's Cook for Ramadan, they use lettuce in their tabbouleh. In my family, we always use lettuce in tabbouleh, but we use it as a scoop. In fact, when I was little, my mom used to fill up the lettuce with tabbouleh and we used to eat it like a little boat. Now that we've soaked our bulgur in water, it's time to chop our vegetables. Now we're going to mix everything in. First, we're going to start by putting in the parsley. Then we're going to add some tomatoes and some cucumbers, and then put in the mint. Whoop, dropped some over here. And then add the onions, put some salt, and then add the bulgur, some lemon juice, and finally the olive oil. Now, the most important part is to mix everything together. Try to make sure that everything is evenly spread out in the salad. And there you go. You've made tabbouleh. And now we're ready. We just put the tabbouleh in the serving dish. And then scoop it up in a lettuce. Look at the little boat. Delicious, لذيذ. I usually like to have some hibiscus drink with my tabbouleh. How about we have some together? Muslims observing Ramadan usually serve refreshing natural beverages like hibiscus drink. You can prepare this wonderful beverage by mixing hibiscus flowers, water, and a flavoring like vanilla and sugar to taste. المسلمون عادة ما يقدمون في شهر رمضان المشروبات الطبيعية الطازجة مثل مشروب الكركدة. يمكنك إعداد عصير الكركدة بخلط زهرة الكركدة الجاف أو بذرة الكركدة بالماء وإضافة روح الفانيلا والسكر. Let's try this delicious hibiscus drink together. So yummy. After I've had my tabbouleh, I like to have some dates for dessert. So good. If you're hungry for more, you can find videos of recipes for scrumptious roast chicken, محمرة, or even كنافة on Al-Bustan's في البيت website. Thank you for making this tabbouleh with me. I really enjoyed it. Bye now.
Thank you, Basma. Well, I think maybe I could make the tabbouleh on my own, but it would be a lot more fun if all of us were together and we made it together and then we enjoyed it together. Had my eye on that hibiscus drink too, which really sounded wonderful. And I love the color. Melissa, Basma helped me to think about foods from my own heritage and my own family history. One recipe that my mom used to make when I was little is called picadillo. And it's a Cuban dish made from green olives and ground beef and bananas and rice and a lot of other ingredients. And now, whenever I make picadillo for dinner, I often think about my Cuban relatives, what their lives were like before they left Cuba and then after they came to the United States. There are a lot of stories about them too. Once, when I got to visit Havana, I went into the neighborhood where they lived. Havana is the capital of Cuba. That visit made me even more curious about them, about my past, and everything associated with my heritage. Melissa, what about you? What foods do you think about from your family? What foods do you cook maybe during some holiday times?
Oh, that's a really good question, Sarah. Oh, could you mute? Thanks. That sounds really delicious. Really makes me want to go and share a meal with you. Um, and I would make pineapple casserole for you. Pineapple casserole is a casserole dish that my mom would always make for holidays, specifically Christmas and Easter. It's kind of like a pineapple bread pudding. It's really sweet and we serve it with ham. But because it is so sweet and kind of like bread pudding, it's almost like having dessert for dinner. And who doesn't want to have dessert for dinner? And I think that speaks a lot to my family and some of the things that we really love, which are sweets. We like sweets. So I really, really enjoyed hearing all about the food traditions from the Swana region. And I really enjoyed seeing how to make tabbouleh and to hear all about the foods of Ramadan. If you want to learn more about those foods, um, we have about those foods and then also some learning resources to explore other food traditions and even your own food traditions. We have a resource guide that's really helpful for teachers and educators and parents and families to kind of explore a little bit further. That link is in the chat. We also have a suggestions for viewing document that has some really great questions to think about after you're done watching this episode that help you think about your own food traditions and how to best explore other cultural heritages around the world and what foods are important to them. We also have that fantastic tabbouleh recipe. If you want to make this at home, we have the recipe, link is in the chat. And then finally, there's a really cool lesson plan that was written by Sarah and our friend Pat Nogar that talks about food traditions in Philadelphia that are unique to Philadelphia. And it also includes some really great recipes for foods and drinks. So be sure to check that out. Those links are in the chat. We also have the links in the chat also include a link to buy the book that you saw today that Basma read to us. So it has information about some of those recipes. And we also have the link in the chat for learnphillyheritage.org/stories. That is the website that you can go to learn more about Heritage Storytime, watch past episodes, learn about future episodes, and this episode will be available to stream there soon. Global Philadelphia would like to thank our episode partners, Al Bustan Seeds of Culture, the Middle East Center at the University of Pennsylvania, and Morning Circle Media. Morning Circle Media was the publisher and author of that book. And we want to give a special thank you to our friend Basma at Al Bustan Seeds of Culture. She was the one who shared her food traditions with us and why they're important to her and her community. And she also taught us how to make tabbouleh, which is very nice of her. We invite you all to join us for our next episode of Heritage Storytime, which will air on May 13th. And I want to wish everybody a very happy day. And if you're celebrating Ramadan, very happy Ramadan. And have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.